Well, folks, I'm out here catching bait for the shop, and I just want to kind of show you kind of what I do on the flats. And the main thing I look for when I'm trying to catch bait on the flats is I'll stop and listen, and I'll listen for the little flicks, because if you have any kind of ripple on the water, you're not gonna physically really see them most of the time. You're just gonna hear them. But today was flat calm, so all I had to do was kind of look right across the flat, and you could see them dimpling on the surface. So I pulled my pinfish traps, got a load of pinfish, catching bait for the shop, catching bait for the traps again, and then we'll head back to the office. But also wanted to kind of mix this in with the Friday fishing forecast, give you guys an idea of what we've got in store for this weekend. It looks like it's going to be a beautiful weekend, extremely warm, so make sure you hydrate. I've talked to a couple of people that have had friends that have had heat stroke on the boats, so please stay hydrated. It is going to be very hot. It's been in the over 100, feels like, all this week, so, and it's going to be like that this weekend. So just be careful. The winds are going to be down, so it's going to allow people to get out for American red snapper. I heard the bite's been pretty good. I'm seeing ranges from 110 to 180 feet, so it just depends on how far you want to run. Like I said, the winds are going to be down, so if you've got a smaller boat, and you have the fuel capacity to do it, you can probably get out there and do it. But I know the tarpon bite has been on and off. It's been good, it's been bad, it's been good, it's been bad. Haven't heard too much about redfish, haven't heard too much about snook and trout, so I'm not really sure what's going on with that. But there's bait everywhere, there's bait all over the flats. But I did see, let me start chumming. I did see my first batch of fry bait. So I think, if I remember correctly through all my years of fishing, on that full moon in June, I think is when the white bait will spawn. And when the white bait will spawn, that means that the big ones will die off and the little ones will show up. So 1 week you'll be out there and you'll be chumming bait, catching bait, no problem. All of a sudden you go to your bait spots and the bait's gone. I mean, literally just gone. So that means that they spawned, they died off, and then the new breed is coming in. And that makes things interesting, because then the fish will start keying in on that tiny fry bait. I've seen it happen time and time again. But right now the bait is thick. It's, as you can see, it's loaded down there. I'm going to throw again. Probably this time I've got enough bait for the shop, so I'm going to load up my bucket so I can put up my pinfish traps. But this bait is starting to, or this tide is finally starting to slow down a little bit, so it's getting that bait closer to the boat. All right, folks, I'm back at the office from catching bait, and I want to go ahead and get into the tides and salooners for this weekend. Like I said before, it looks like it's going to be an absolutely beautiful weekend. It's going to be hot, so stay hydrated, as I said before. Let's go ahead and look at the tides and salooners for this weekend. For Saturday, we have a high tide at 2:01 p.m. at a 2.8 foot. Then we have a low tide at 10:25 p.m. at a negative 0.4 foot. On Sunday, we have a high tide at 2:41 p.m. at a 2.7 foot. And then at 11:10, we have a low tide at a negative 0.3. For the salooners, we have a minor feeding time from 7:47 a.m. to 8:47 a.m. Then we have a major feeding time from 2:35 p.m. to 4:35 p.m. And on Sunday, we have a minor feeding time from 8:49 a.m. to 9:49 a.m. Then we have a major feeding time from 3:29 p.m. to 5:29 p.m. So folks, that's the tides and salooners for this weekend. The shop will have plenty of bait. We'll have white bait, we have pinfish, we have some crabs left, we will have a ton of shrimp, we have a ton of frozen bait. So if you're going offshore, we have a ton of frozen bait in stock. We have chum blocks, we have frozen shrimp, we have squid, we have thread fins, Spanish sardines, rock shrimp, all of that good stuff. I'm hearing some good reports in about the 110 to 120 feet. And then past that, I'm hearing good reports in 160 to 180. Now, a lot of people can't get out that far, but I'm also hearing hogfish being caught in less than 50 feet of water. So there's a lot of stuff going on offshore. The winds are going to be light. So if you can get offshore, I definitely recommend it. We're going to fish finally in the last 3 weeks. We're finally going out fishing tomorrow. So looking forward to that. We will have our savory rhino sandwiches in the shop Friday morning. So they'll be available for this weekend. They're becoming very, very popular. There's a ton of people that really like them. So I'm really excited about that. We've got red bone rods in stock. We have dropout cast nets in stock. So we're pretty much good to go. We've got a lot of inventory and jigs and hooks and all that other stuff. So if you get a chance, come on by and see us. We just want to say thank you to everybody for all of the support. We can't do this without you. I know I say that all the time, but it's very true. So thank you for that. Fish more, catch more, and see you on the flip side.